Hello, y'all. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 206. I am back. Larry and Gabe did a fantastic job. They rocked it out. I didn't watch the live stream, but obviously I edited it, and it was good. You guys did great. You kept it going. Traveler gave you some lip, and you told them to fuck off. Just kidding, Traveler. Thanks for joining early. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Go to gigeconomyshow.com for everything Gig Economy Show related. I'd like to mention our Patreon members, Samson, Bud, Omar, Delivery Cats, Jamie, Frank, Tom, Jim, Tom, and Miguel. Appreciate you guys so much. And since you guys have been waiting, the Patreon members, the t-shirts are shipping tomorrow. I finally got them and I printed them myself.
All right.
I'm in the t-shirt business now. Let's go. If you need any t-shirts, hit me up. I'll hook you up. So if you want to join the Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast. That's where if you're a $10 tier after the third month, or whenever Jason gets around to it after the third month, you'll get a t-shirt made by me. I mean, you can't ask.
That is priceless. That is priceless. You cannot put a price tag on that.
I mean, it literally, I sewed the shirt. I drove to Bangladesh and talked to no, I'm just kidding.
You picked the cotton to make the shirt.
Yeah, I did it all. So
did it all.
But if you join the Patreon at the $10 tier, you get a free, like I said, a t-shirt after the third month. You get an extra podcast a month. You get interviews or extra shows before anyone else does. You get ad-free shows because we do have ads on the show, so I cut all that out so you get it. And you usually get the show early too. I usually, whenever I edit it, either Thursday through Sunday, you get it early. So check it out. All right, sure. All right, Steve. I'll make
put the order in. Put the order.
Yeah, put the order in. Let's go. I'm ready to go. So yeah, if you're interested in supporting us, that would be great. We also have a group called Telegram. You may know the app. It's like WhatsApp, a Kick, or Facebook Messenger, but that's where we have a community that we all talk gig work or whatever's going on. Do you want to tell us about that, Larry?
Yeah, Telegram. It's a great group to get in and just talk with other like-minded people who do gig work. You can talk about what apps you're doing, any new apps that come out, or a lot of times you might have a question about an app, and chances are somebody else will run across that situation or that problem. And then sometimes we just talk about what's going on in life, or talk about, the crappy passenger we had or delivery we had or anything like that. But yeah, it's a great place to come in and get to meet people. And once you get to know people, you can come and come to the picnic.
Yeah. It is coming up on September 14th from 2 to 4. Peter, you are welcome to come, and welcome to the stream. Those guys are rude. And I'm sorry, and I will take it up with HR. But yeah, the picnic September 14th at Riverside Park we have a great time. I always say I'm going to stream. I don't know. I want to, but it's always weird. Like, I think I tried before. I think I interviewed you one time or something.
Yeah, last year. Yeah,
well, that was last year. I want to do a podcast, but like, I also want to talk to people too.
Yeah, this is your one chance to interact with people.
I know,
everybody in real life. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you want to see what happens at the picnic, come to the damn picnic.
Yeah, right. Maybe we'll just set up the camera and just
there you go.
It and just
that would be good. Yeah, that way you don't have to take time out of interacting with everybody.
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah.
September 14th.
Pete, the picnic is September 14th. Pete, put it on your calendar.
Right. All right, stories from the road. I have no stories, just flexing. That's what I wrote down. Been doing some early morning routes. Amazon is so weird. They'll like all of a sudden push out routes for like 4 or 5 days in a row. Like, I'll be getting routes for Thursday and Friday on Sunday. And we're talking surge routes. I mean, they're not like insane, but they're way more than base. And I'm like, I got to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of mornings. They're early for me. I mean, I like to get up a little bit early to drink a cup of coffee, but like, I'm doing 6:15, 6:30 routes. So I got to leave, 5:45, 6 o'clock. And they've been all right. But man, by the end of the day, I'm just like, holy shit, I am just absolutely exhausted. Steve, wow.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it. And so I've been doing those. And other than that, not really nothing really to talk about.
Yeah, same
So
here. I've been doing, some rideshare. I said, it's the calm before the storm, before the students come back. They'll be back
yeah.
in a couple weeks. Some more the athletes are starting to come in. I know the football players have come in, and some of the other athletes they come in a couple weeks early. So it's starting to pick up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But hadn't had anything crazy really happen in the last week or so. But
Okay.
just some nice, pretty calm evenings.
Yeah, you were all you weren't doing rideshare for a while there, right? You got sick, and then you were going up to to lacrosse games and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and then even last Saturday, we actually went up to Lexington to visit our son. We played, just had lunch with him and went and played disc golf with him, which was a lot of fun. Our son came like that close to stepping on directly on top of a snake. And we were walking through the woods, and he was putting his foot down, and all of a sudden he jumped, and it was a pretty good sized snake too.
You know what kind it was?
I do not. I don't. It was
You didn't hang around to find out?
we were looking at him and we're like, we're gonna give him a wide berth, and then he started coming toward us, and we're like,
Oh,
okay, I think we're just gonna skip over here and give him his distance. But he was probably, I don't know, he was a good, I'd say 3.5 foot long. He was pretty
okay.
good size.
Yeah. No, thanks.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Nah, I
nope.
don't wanna
Just
mess with
you
that.
go your way, and I'll go by. I'm glad that I didn't walk that way because I had my sunglasses on. We didn't know the course. We didn't know if it was going to be all out in the open and sunny or if it was through the woods. But it ended up being mostly through the woods. So I had my sunglasses and which are prescription. I didn't have my regular glasses, so it was pretty dark. I would not have seen him. I would not have. I would have stepped right on him.
Oh, so you just had the prescription one, so you kinda had to wear them.
Yeah, yeah. The other one was in the car, and I didn't,
Yeah.
by this time we were 3 or 4 holes in, and I was like, I didn't want to walk back and get him. But
I hear you.
luckily he saw it. But yeah, that foot came down. All of a sudden, woo, he was gone. And he was like, "There's a snake." Uh,
Honestly, snakes are really great for the environment. Like,
yes,
I try not to kill them, and
yeah,
for some reason in my area, we get a lot of, gardener snakes,
yeah,
and my daughter is deathly afraid of them. But
really,
they're so tiny, they're like
yeah.
a foot long.
Yeah, we used to catch them when I was a kid, and didn't worry about it back then. And I'm cool with snakes. It's like, hey, here I've got this snake. I'm going to show you. I'll hold it, everything.
Oh,
But
no, I
but
won't
when they
even do that.
surprise you, when you're out in the woods and you step over a log and it's right there, I don't like that. don't care for that at all.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad no one got bit because that would have
Yes.
been terrible.
Yeah,
So
not a good day.
so the students are coming back in, like, a week?
No, it's more like they usually come like the maybe the second to third week of August.
You know what's
So a
crazy?
couple more weeks.
I start August 19th, and I'm like, all these colleges starting the same time the public school is. It used to be like college used to go back like a couple of weeks before
Yeah.
lower ed did, but yeah,
Yeah,
we're
our
starting
public school goes back next week.
yours does in your
Yeah,
area?
yeah.
Oh shit.
And the one in the county we live in, and the one my wife teaches at, they go back the following week.
Okay. Well, all I
And
know is I got 19 days of summer left. Not that I'm
there
just
you go.
been like laying in the pool, but I mean, I'm not. I don't know if I'm ready to get back into a routine where it's like
Yeah,
every day my things the exact same Monday through Friday. But
yeah,
also, I kind of like the flexibility to be like, I'm just gonna blow off work today and just not.
yeah. It's nice to have that option. Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Yep.
before we jump into gig economy in the news, just want to talk about Matt 616 Locksmith. He's done work for me, does a great job. Very mobile, can get out to you really quick. Call him at 616-914-3487. If you need, just a lockout of your home, he can help you get in there. Change those locks if you need that done. Like just everything lock related, vehicle and home, he can take care of. And sometimes he may have to order a key for you because obviously he doesn't have everything in stock.
Mhm.
But yeah, check him out. He does a great job and appreciate Matt supporting the show. And then, of course, Levi from Tip You in the App. Go to Tip You in the App on YouTube, subscribe to Levi's channel, and just he really has a big ego. So make sure you stroke it when you're over there and just say, Levi, you are so handsome, and I just love you so much, and I appreciate the content you put out. He will love that.
Yes.
He
I
will
mean, who
love that.
wouldn't?
Who
Who
wouldn't
wouldn't?
love that? I would love that.
Sure.
So,
Uh,
so first up, I mean, we're talking Prop 22, which I mean, there's not much to talk about other than the Supreme Court. I gotta mute this site. Most sites I go to are already pre-muted because I've been here before, but this one wasn't. They upheld it on Thursday, just to keep it just like it is. Of course, one side's pissed and one side's happy.
mhm.
Um, they did a survey I noticed, and it was kind of interesting. Let me go. To back up a claim that drivers want Prop 22 in place, Uber cited a 2021 survey about 1,500 app-based rideshare and food delivery workers. A large percent of 87% of residents say they were in support of Prop 22. However, those surveys, 62% had no idea what it was.
Yeah, we're in favor of it. We like it. We want it. Voting for it. Have no idea what the hell's going on. It
Well,
sounds like
so
any
yeah.
other election.
Well, they're not familiar with it. What they are familiar with is they get extra money.
Right.
That's all they know about, which that's
All that.
fine. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not hating on 'em for knowing that, but they should have sent the survey out and said, "Do you know, the details of Prop 22?" And if they said no, then they shouldn't have
Throw that out.
qualified.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, good for them. I mean, I would take Prop 22. I don't want to do anything what New York is doing. I mean, you can see, that's what's happening, and that's not a good thing to do. So I think Prop 22 is kind of a little bit in between,
Yeah. Not as extreme.
not as extreme. Yeah. So if you're in California and you like Prop 22, then I'm sure you're happy. So we'll see what happens. I think they pushed it down to a lower court. Like, I don't even know, because they're still fighting it, I think. Where did I read that? I don't know. I thought I wrote it somewhere that it's going to go back because they upheld what the smaller court said, so it's going back down or something.
It's not the last. This isn't the last time
Oh.
last we've heard of it for sure. It will come back up for sure.
Yeah, but well, as long as it stays out of Michigan. Although honestly, with the Prop 22, I might take that. I mean, it sounds like really the only thing there's really no sacrifice. You're just getting a little extra money.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know what this article is. I hope you read it. I know it's
Yes,
your
I
article,
did.
but I'm reading the link.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
this article talks about a passenger. He was in an Uber ride and he was playing on the tablet that the passenger had, or that the driver had. Turned out to be an Octopus Tablet. And he said he played a claw game that came up, and he pushed the button, to play the claw game. It dropped down. The claw picked something up. It comes up and said he won. And then he said he got charged $1.53 on his Uber app right after that. And first of all, this guy is a news reporter. So
I know, I saw that. Like,
that makes me suspicious right away.
Yeah.
I just have to say he's a news reporter. So anyway, and as you and I know, as people who have used the Octopus Tablet for a while now, it is not linked into your Uber app in any way, shape, or form. Now that's coming down the road because they've got a partnership. But right now, it is not linked into the Uber app. There's no way that they could charge him for playing this game. They do not charge for any of their games. It's all free.
Right.
So, I don't know, maybe he did get some kind of weird charge on his Uber ride, but it was not related to playing a game on the Octopus Tablet. Although I do like to freak people out. They'll be playing it for like 10 minutes and then they're like, "Hey, are these games free?" I'm like, "It's $9.99 a minute." And they freak out. But
well, what I was thinking about him being a news person is like, why would you say, like, clearly this is a lie?
Yeah.
Why are you even doing that? And they had like 2 million views. I'm just like, that's some bullshit. I mean, I wouldn't surprise Uber's trying to do that. Like Uber's tablet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and yeah, but again, that's directly attached to the Uber account, so they might be able to do something like that. but
Right.
Octopus does not know who's in your car, and
No.
so they have no way of charging that person.
Right. I wonder with their partnership with Uber if
Mhm.
they are going to have data. I wonder if one of the agreements was like, well, I want the data of that passenger if we're going to pair up.
I mean,
I
they're gonna
don't
have to have something because it's gonna show the route on the screen.
well, yeah, but they can
So
code that to
yeah,
not
that right.
to show that. But I mean, I don't know why Octopus would want it, but everyone wants data, right? If someone came to me and said, "I'm going to give you
Mhm.
150,000 email addresses for your newsletter,"
Yes.
I'd be like, "I don't
Yep.
fucking care if they're gig workers or not. I will take it."
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, that's
So,
how it starts. So yeah, I don't know. They haven't really I haven't seen any of the details on how it's how much is going to be integrated, what kind of information they're going to be sharing back and forth, besides the the route.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but so next up, oops, I forgot. Gotta share this picture. I could have had you do it. Because I had the article up. So this is a Lyft ride. Stand by. For the audio listeners, this is a trip of rush hour that should have been 17 minutes. When I accepted it, I was quoted 55 minutes. The actual time was 1 hour and 40 minutes.
oh, gee.
So the ride, he picked up the passenger at 1:58, dropped him off at 3:38. So it was 17 and a half miles, an hour 40. The passenger paid $142 for that ride, and the driver got 39. So it's like he goes, look how much Lyft took out. I'm at a loss for words how this works. A couple weeks ago, I gave a ride from Portland to Seattle airport and made 275. The Pax only paid 334 and Lyft took a meager $9. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like
No. No,
why
that
some of these are so out of whack. If you remember the story one day when it was early morning and I got a ride at the casino
Mhm.
and it ended up like the guy paid like $250 to go from casino to Grand Rapids, and I made
Yeah,
like 100 and some change. And I'm like, that shouldn't be that much. Like,
right.
why is that much? And same to this thing. That passenger must have fucking lost their shit.
Oh, man,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, that is
142.
crazy.
So in the chat in the Telegram group, which you can join, Gabe, or no, not Gabe, Frank was talking
Mhm.
about you being able to be paid more in a traffic jam. And so in my head, I was like, hey, you already get paid minutes and time, but like not with the
No,
upfront pricing, it doesn't
no,
work
not
that way.
anymore, yeah. Not
So it
anymore.
says your earnings will increase now that he's in New Jersey. Your earnings, or no,
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia. Your earnings
Pennsylvania, yeah.
will increase if the ride is extended by 5 or more minutes when compared to the original estimate on the ride request. Your ride could be extended for traffic accident closed road. As an
Mhm.
example of this would be if the ride request said it would take 30 minutes to pick up and drop the passenger off, but then the traffic made it 41-minute ride. If you get there faster, you still get the original quote. But I don't know. I don't know where it says how much extra you get paid, but it can't be much, right?
No, no, I don't it's Lyft, I mean, they're not gonna give us a bunch.
Do
But,
you
yeah,
think
I
they'll
didn't
just
see anything. I didn't see anything as far as the amount. I don't think they laid that out.
do you think they'll just go like, okay, well, we used to pay you 10 cents a minute, so anything extra is 10 cents. So it's not like
Yeah.
even though I mean, so for 40 extra minutes, you get paid $4.
Yeah, yeah, big $6 for an extra hour
Yeah,
of
yeah.
sitting in traffic.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's not
Oh,
even worth it,
man.
but
I would hate for a 17-mile trip to take me an hour and 40 minutes.
I might cancel it. I
Yeah.
might be like, "Hey, I'm good." Like, "I'm sorry, you're gonna have to find I'm gonna find
Yeah,
a side street and get the fuck out of here." Like, it's and I don't know what he was quoted on that ride either, like,
sure.
what his upfront was. I didn't, let's see.
But
Almost
what could that damn Lyft fee be that it cost
I
$93
know,
on that
that's the
ride?
thing.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. This is one of the comments, "Lyft volunteer coming to a city near you."
It's
Um,
getting there. It gets a little
yeah.
closer every year.
Honestly, someone said reach out to Lyft on X,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I would do that too. I would start spamming the shit out of that
Oh, yeah.
screenshot.
Yeah,
Just
oh,
like,
yeah, I would post that on X for sure, and message them or tweet at them or whatever they call it now. X at them. I don't know how they.
I
I
love
don't know how they call it.
as much as I'm not on Twitter much anymore, I do love that you do kind of have access to like these big companies, and you can tag them and spam it. Like, can't do that on Facebook. Not really. I mean, there's a lot of workarounds like that, or that companies can do to keep you from doing that, but not on Twitter. Like,
No, you get response on Twitter. I've done that
Yeah.
before with Uber on a few things back in the day, and I always got a response.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, that's some bullshit right there. I feel bad for that driver, but like I said, I mean, the GPS tells you how long, so it's not like he got into it and was like, well, maybe it'll clear up. I mean, I guess it could clear up, but if they're quoting a time and for 10 minutes it's still saying the same quote, it's time to bail.
Yeah. Or, you never know. He could have got in, 2 minutes into the ride. There's a big major accident up there and they closed the road, and that can, stuff like that happens, and that's just frustrating though.
Yeah. So Steve says, pick them up, cancel the ride and tell the customer. Yeah. And then offer to do a ride for 70% of the quote. Fuck, even 50%. I mean, it was almost $150. What was it? Yeah, almost $150 for $75. You almost doubled what you made from Lyft, but
what a mess.
I wonder, so he must have been quoted like the 39, right? Like, is that so? If it was upfront pricing, he must have seen the 39, and maybe he just lost his shit when the traffic was bad, and then he saw what the passenger paid. I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to know without knowing all the variables exactly what happened.
Yeah, freaking apps. I hate them. All right. Well, I hate them and I love them.
Yeah, exactly.
They keep me in this lap of luxury, but also I want them to get bent.
What can you say? Can't live with them, can't live without them.
That's right.
All right. Next, going to talk about DoorDash continues to add partnerships. The two that they announced this week, they've expanded their network to partner with Michael's, the crafting supply store.
Oh yeah,
they have crafting supplies, home decor, other items. They have 1,200 stores nationwide. Says our partnership with DoorDash enables us to expand our same-day delivery offering, making our assortment available whenever and however customers want to shop, while reaching new audiences and adding value for core customers. The DoorDash's other new partnership is with Save a Lot, which has 750 grocery stores in the United States. We did have Save a Lots here. I think we had 2, but I think they've closed here. But y'all have Save a Lot up there?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, 750 grocery stores in the US, and they said 400 of those are now live on DoorDash. And says this collaboration offers same-day delivery of fresh products and will add support for SNAP and EBT payment capabilities later this year.
Okay.
It brings fresh produce, quality products, and fresh cut meat to more shoppers, provides an affordable and convenient solution for customers with a range of circumstances. So again, DoorDash continues to just partner up with different people, trying to expand, their reach, their customer base, and it seems like they're doing a pretty good job of it here lately, I have to say.
Unfortunately for the drivers, though, Save a Lot. I mean, no offense, but probably some lower income people that earnings are going to be shopping there, and so your tips are probably.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, some of those lower income people tip more than the rich people do.
That's true. I mean, I guess
talked about that.
I find like I shouldn't say that. I find like a lot of blue collar people tend to tip more, regardless of income. But yeah, I don't know. I just like, I don't know, Save a Lot, and then Michael's just a bunch of old people. Although I do a Mike, I mean, I don't judge it at all. Like, I don't know if I would want to shop at Michael's, but I definitely would pick up. Pete's gone. He said Jason doesn't want to shop for the poor. That's not true. I'm just saying, in Michael's, I don't want to like go and What'd you say?
But just because Jason said it doesn't mean it's true.
That's right. Like Michael's, they're like, yeah, pick up this blue ribbon, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't shopping for that. I'm like, I can go to Save a Lot and shop for a can of
Yeah.
beans, but like,
Yeah.
oy vey,
Oh yeah,
God, gee, that
my
killed me.
wife likes Michaels quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
As a teacher, she picks up a lot of stuff there.
yeah. I don't think I've ever shopped at Save a Lot, to be honest with you. So
I've done Save a Lot a few times over the years. It's it's not they're not huge grocery stores. They're kind of the
they're
older,
not.
kind of smaller grocery stores. Um, but they had some decent prices on some things.
Yeah,
Kind of like
I don't know.
Aldi's.
Yeah, it's Aldi. Do not add an S to it. Damn it.
We have S to everything.
I know. Everyone here is Myers. I'm like,
Yeah.
now. It's not
Kroger's.
now. Gosh darn it. Anyways, so yeah, like Pete said, I don't want to shop for the poor. So anyways.
Oh goodness.
Uber, God, Uber and this EVs, they're like got hard-ons for EVs. So Uber deal could add 100,000 ride-hailing EVs to the road. Uber is teaming up with BYD to bring. I don't know what BYD is. I read this whole article.
Chinese electric car company, I believe.
Is that what it is? Okay, I didn't.
So. Yeah.
I assume that's what it was, but to bring 100,000 of the Chinese automakers' EVs to the ride-sharing app. The multi-year partnership will roll out in Europe and Latin America first, giving drivers best-in-class pricing and financing for BYD vehicles used with Uber. So yeah, that. Where did I read that? Yeah, so basically offering them cheaper financing. Additionally, Uber and BYD will work to bring more autonomous vehicles to the ride-sharing platform. Uber began offering rides with robotaxi company Waymo last year, and expanded partnership to include autonomous food delivery. I had thought Uber and Waymo parted ways. I thought in my head, but maybe that.
They may still partner with them.
So it's not clear how Uber partnership with BYD will pan out, especially as countries around the globe restrict sales of EVs made in China. That happens here. If you get an EV here, and a certain amount of it parts have to be made not in China, or you won't get as much of a rebate for a tax rebate. So
BYD is a Chinese manufacturing company.
Okay, I made the cut like right before they put
the hammer down.
Yeah, so. The Chinese government provides billions in subsidies to EV automakers in the country, allowing them to sell EVs cheaper than rivals and potentially harm foreign competition. The U.S. raised the tariffs on EVs from China in May, and European Union followed suit with an extra 17.4% tariff. So there was some comment about, gosh darn it, where was it? It was funny. Oh, yeah. Both companies plan to bring the partnership to the Middle East, Canada, Australia, New Zealand in the future. Uber announced a similar partnership in 2022 that let drivers rent EVs from Hertz, but Hertz ended up scaling back its EV ambitions. That's nicely putting it. After finding higher rates of vehicle damage among Uber drivers. Well, that guy lost his job, or he resigned. That guy that brought that idea.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's just Uber drivers. It's rentals. They're going to beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, and especially, the EVs that have the fast acceleration. People aren't used to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't rent a lot of cars. Honestly, the last car I rented on Turo, Turo,
Turo.
And I didn't treat it like a rental, even though it was, because I was like, oh, this guy, I think he had a small little business, but like some of these people are renting out like just one of their cars. I'm like, I'm not gonna beat the shit out of this thing. This is this guy's car. But if it's from Hertz, I'm fucking riding that. I mean, not like a maniac, but I'm like,
drive it hard,
turning around the corner. I'm slamming on the brakes if I need to. You know what I mean? And I'm just driving more fast, I guess.
Yeah, wild man.
Yeah, wild man. But no, I mean, I think the EVs is a good thing. People, it's such a contentious topic, and I don't know if it's just political or if people legitimately think staying in the oil business is the way to go. I mean, I know you have to burn coal sometimes for electricity, but I think hand in hand we need to move to an EV world with solar. Like companies like need to start putting solar panels on, like the prices will start coming down. You know what I mean? I think it needs
Sure.
to be a partnership. Obviously, if we're not using renewable energy to charge the EVs, and then there is a lot of oil used to mine the shit for
Yeah.
the batteries too.
Sure.
So it's
Of
like,
course. Yeah. It's, it sounds good, but once you start investigating,
yeah.
there are some things that kind of offset it to make it not as green as you might think.
Well, yeah, that what I was gonna say is if you're going for green, don't do it because I think they said it takes like 5 years to
Yeah.
drive a Tesla before it actually becomes carbon neutral. So it's
Really.
like, you know what I mean? If you even, if you still have that car after 5 years. But I mean,
Right.
I personally, like I said, I've always said on the show too, I bought it. Like I mean, God, what have I paid this month to charge? Like it's an insane low number.
Yeah. Next to nothing.
Let's see. I paid $75 for the month.
Yeah.
And that's a lot because I've been doing basically straight gig work. Like I'm
Right.
not
So
doing
yeah,
it.
you're putting in the miles.
Yeah. So I mean $75 for the whole month. Now I haven't
Yeah.
been working every day, but I don't know. To me, it's like a no-brainer. You buy this car and basically
Mhm.
you make your payment by not spending money on gas. So it's kind of cool. But anyways, good for Uber. I think it's good to bring them in. Let's see what kind of deal they offer though. And I have not heard anything about these Chinese EVs. I mean, what other Chinese cars are here in the States? Do you know?
I don't.
I
I
don't
don't
even
think
know
we
if
have
they're
any Chinese cars here in the United
'cause I
States.
don't think we do, right? Because Kia is Japanese, right? Or
Uh,
Korean.
Korean, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a weird thing with China. Like we don't it's China and the United States, like we don't get along, but yet we have to because there's a lot of business involved. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see that go over. I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen. I know they struck a deal, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh yeah, Hyundai and Kia, yeah, they're all getting stolen.
Yep. Yeah.
Great
Pete
company. Don't ever
confirmed.
buy a Hyundai or a Kia. Well, now I shouldn't say Kia. Kia, I think there's some cool Kias out there. The Kia EV is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
when Gabe rented that one, he brought it to the picnic. I really liked that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That was. I mean, it was a pretty cool looking car, and
Yeah,
he seemed to enjoy it. And he thought it drove pretty well. And
for sure.
uh,
Sorry on the EV rant there. Octopus Tablet. Go to our website, or yeah, you can go to the website or the link in the description. You can get this tablet. I see the rideshare guys all of a sudden pushing it too. I'm not sure why. I mean, he's always had a link, but he seems to be pushing it extra lately.
yeah.
But go to the link in the description. It's basically a tablet for your rideshare peeps to play games, not get charged,
Not
and
get charged.
you can tease them like Larry does and watch their eyes pop out of their head. Especially when they're drunk, I'm sure.
It's so funny.
So yeah, you can play games. You get up to $100 a month if you drive full time, and you can win prizes, all that. I've been kind of a little out of the community as far as that goes because I think I've done since June 1st. I've done like
Mhm.
3 rides. I mean, honestly, and so I just set mine away. I set it for the whole month, and at the month they're like, "Hey, you're about ready
Mhm.
to," and they don't care as long as you set the account to away because I think they don't pay for the data or something about that. They don't care that you keep it. But if
Right.
you don't set it away or don't respond to them, and when they'll make you send it back
Yeah. They'll get fussy then.
like they did Jesper. So let's see. Those cars got fixed years ago. Nah, Pete, they're still stealing them. I don't know. I don't think so. I think people are there's it still happens in Grand Rapids unless the people hadn't gone and got the recall fixed or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. That was such an embarrassing thing how simple it was to steal those cars. Like that was crazy.
Yes.
So so yeah, this is interesting. The DOG. Let's go, Larry.
All right. So if you've done rideshare for a while, we get notices. I seems like I get them every other month. Sometimes it seems like about we have to take people um, with
Service dogs.
service dogs. You're not allowed to refuse that just because you don't like a dog being in your car. But these three people who live in the Bay Area tell NBC that they are constantly left stranded by Uber and Lyft drivers because of their seeing eye dogs. The years long issue has caught the attention of the U.S. Department of Justice, and they've confirmed this source with the department that a national nonprofit that says it's sharing data. So after first hearing from Annalisa DiLeonardo and Linda McLeod from San Jose, NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit spoke with Lisa Irving from Mill Valley. In 2021, Lisa was granted $1.1 million award against Uber for the refusals that she experienced involving her guide dog.
Damn.
Which that's a pretty good payout there.
A good payout for her, but a little scratch on the
yeah, nothing for Uber. It says these refusals are a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which prohibits discrimination based on a person's disability. She said it was a landmark award I was unable to achieve what I wanted to achieve, and that was to affect change. She said, despite that, things have gotten worse. This organization is called Guide Dogs for the Blind. Said they get phone calls on a daily basis of people who get refused rides just because they have their CNI dog. And again, I know I get them at least 4 or 5 times a year. The pop-up message in the apps reminding you have to take guide dogs. Doesn't matter if you're allergic to dogs. It doesn't matter anything. You can't, you're not supposed to be able to refuse them. But it seems like it happens. And, personally, I don't mind having dogs in my car as long as they're not going to tear anything up. I try to keep a blanket in my car. If somebody has a dog, I'll just lay the blanket down in the back seat and have them lay on that, or make sure they stay in the floorboard.
That's for dead bodies. You don't even try.
Trying to keep it on the up and up here. But yeah, you just have to know if you refuse somebody that has a legit, seeing eye dog, they're probably good chance they're going to complain and you're going to get in trouble for it.
As they should. But the problem is like, again, there's no paperwork. They're not required by law. Like, right. It's like, and I feel bad. I see like legitimate TikTokers getting denied service at restaurants, and they clearly need the dog. And then people say, well, you don't look handicapped. Right. But it's like, why can't we just, this would solve so many issues, right? If you have a service dog, you have a certification. I have a driver's license.
You need like an ID card, just a little, some kind of ID card. You may have to carry, it's like your concealed carry card.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I have a pesticide license card, which is going to end at the end of the year. I have a driver's license. I have a CPL. I have a Costco membership card.
Right. Because people do abuse this. People say, oh, this is my emotional support animal. And that's, sometimes, it's just BS. Like I said, I'm probably going to take them anyway. I don't really mind having an animal in my car, but there's a lot of people who don't, especially if I was allergic to dogs. Be like, nope, not doing it. But yeah, you get these people that ruin it for everybody.
Right. I think I'm fine taking any dog regardless, except if it's a big husky or something. Like, honestly, I'll be telling you, Larry, I took the dogs to the groomers last weekend. I don't even put them in my own car. I take that back. Hamilton's been in my car, but not the little ones.
Yeah.
I don't want it trash. I took my wife's car. Not that my wife's car is trash, but like, it's not clean like mine. Like mine, I can go out and Uber right now and it's good. Like it's fine. But yeah, I might deny a big husky. I might be like, nah, I don't want that in there. But like, you are rolling the dice when you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you really are. You really are. All it takes is, that one person to report you and somehow maybe document it. I don't know, if somebody may catch it record it on their phone, you driving away, or who knows, it's going to be in their app history as well, that, for some reason you canceled the ride, something like that. So you are rolling dice when you do something like that, for sure.
So I wonder if they call it, like, let's say it's somebody doesn't have a service dog. It's just like bullshit. And they call and complain to Uber. Is Uber saying, I mean, there's no documentation. How does even Uber know that this person is like
It's like any other accusation, like, when
Yeah.
somebody says, "Oh, my driver was swerving," or he was under the influence, or you know, it's who knows what can they do to investigate that, or what do they do? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So,
But again,
well,
these people that have these, BS service animals or emotional support animals ruin it for the people. It's like you see, every corner now there's somebody out there panhandling that's there every day, the professional panhandlers, and they've ruined it for people who really need help. Because
yeah,
nobody gives, most
I
people aren't
know.
going to give money anymore. I'm like, I drive by this corner, 15 times a day when I'm out doing rideshare. I'm not going to, I can't give money every time, especially
No.
when I see you here for, the last 3 years.
Yeah, I going back to the emotional support animal, I'm fine with that. If you legit need a dog, like
Right. For
dogs
sure.
are my life. Like I love my dogs. They are kind of my emotional support animal. Am I gonna walk into a Chili's with them? Of course not, because they're assholes. So I don't want them to cause issues. Like you can always tell a dog that's not a service dog when they're an asshole. But my point is like I'm not
Yeah.
discrediting that you might need that dog and you may keep you
Mhm.
from panic attacks and stuff like that. But like it just needs to be monitored.
Documented. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Documented. So it can't be, it can't be that hard.
no. Well, yeah, it's the government, so it's probably hard. So this one is interesting. So the title is Family Raises Fears as Georgia Lyft
Mhm.
driver vanish, agreeing to drive passenger nearly 400 miles. So you're like, oh man, this article. But once I start reading it, you're like, so, I mean, you'll figure it out. So, 400 miles. Deputy said Leonard was in the Ball Ground area, Cherokee County, on July 18, working part time as a Lyft. Is scheduled to drive a customer back to Jacksonville, Florida. His family not being able to reach him. It's unclear if he even picked up the passenger. And then the next says, he learned that he checked himself
Mhm.
into the hospital on July 22. So the ride was July 18.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe that was the day the article came. No, I think it was July 18, right? Yeah, July
Yes.
18. So on the
Yes.
22nd, he checked himself into the hospital and then walked out the next day. That's the last time he was seen. His vehicle may have been towed from the hospital. So
Yeah.
it's not about the rideshare. Is this just clickbait? Like what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's like those stories that we always read that have nothing to do with being a ride share. That just
Yeah.
hadn't be their job, and they were like, Uber driver does this, or whatever. It has no relation to anything in the story, and that's what this sounds like. Uh, it is. I mean, he was obviously alive and able to check himself into hospital 4 days after he supposedly took this ride.
Yeah. And then
So
as you read on, it's like he's gone off on his own before, which why they didn't report it sooner. He's been recovering from a drug addiction, sometimes isolates. It's not abnormal for him to avoid contact while he's relapsed. So it's like, okay, like there's so many like red flags, but I agree. I think they just used the Lyft because he was a Lyft driver.
yeah.
And shame on me for not reading the whole article because it got me out. Because as you know, guys, as we are preparing the show,
Mhm.
we see titles and we're like, okay, we throw it in a chat and we'll put it through later. Now, again, I put the show together and I
Yeah.
still didn't read it. No, I did read it. I did prep for the show, so I knew this
Yeah.
was coming.
Yeah.
But it's just still like, come on, guys, don't use the word Lyft driver just to get a little click. But got me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it got me too. I saw this story several times as I was looking through, and we do make a effort to not, just put out negative stuff,
Of
all
course,
the time, because the show could be completely that if that's what if that's what you wanted to do, you can find all those kind of stories. But we try to find feel good stories or stuff that talks about new apps or an app doing good, not the kind of seedier side of gig work. Um, so I saw this several times, and I didn't ever I never did read the whole article as well, and until just now,
yeah,
they're getting ready for the show. That's when I saw that he had checked himself in the hospital. I was like, this is such not a gig related article like they make it out to be. You see the title and you think, oh man, he's been kidnapped or his passenger shot him, and like they don't even know if he picked up the passenger. Well, that's not hard
Right.
to find out. Uber or Lyft knows if you pick the passenger up.
Yeah. So honestly, though, I like to share these articles because you never know who might see it and
Mhm.
hear it, and they might find the guy. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't
Sure.
want to always have gloom and doom, but like, if someone's missing, like,
Right.
legitimate
That's
rideshare
different.
driver, I mean, as we all are in competition with each other, I still feel for the guy. I know the danger that it could happen to any of us,
Mhm.
and so I do want to get people's names out that happen. But yeah, it kind of bamboozled us a little bit, but um it's interesting. I thinking about dash cams
Mhm.
with the whole safety thing. I do see Uber and Lyft in the next year or so forcing us to do a dash cam thing. I really do. Even though that's going to violate the quote unquote independent contractor, which is bullshit anyways. We're not independent contractor. It's like a small
Yeah.
percentage of it is like, yeah, we get to deny or accept the rides, but that is the length of the independent contractor
Yeah.
status. But I
You
don't know.
think they're gonna you think they're gonna require it, huh?
I mean, it would eliminate so many problems.
Well, it could, but I mean, as we've seen before, there's been lots of times problems have come up, and people are like, Uber wouldn't even look at my video.
Well, I think if they do it, then they have access to it. The only issue is I think we both should be able to have access, but we shouldn't be allowed to delete it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we can view it, but we can't
Right.
delete it.
Yeah, just
And
read access, not
just
being
read
able to delete
access.
it.
So
Mhm.
you can kind of like recap, like you never know. Like Uber hit you up 3 months later. Hey, this ride on July 14th at 3:30 a.m. Like I'm gonna need to see that video. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to see what happened to make sure I don't
exactly.
fuck it up.
Yeah, I don't remember what people I drove a week ago, much less what happened 3 months ago or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be fine with it. I mean, I have a dash cam in my car now, so it doesn't bother me. I think
Mhm.
I think the only thing would bother me is uh they have access to it. So like let's say something did happen and something that I didn't do exactly right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
like I'll be honest with you, if it
yeah,
was my own dash cam, I'm
yeah,
probably fucking deleting that shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like not that like I was like
yeah.
being a criminal, but just, like
Sure.
I may have started the fight. I may have mouthed off the wrong way. I
Yeah,
may have called him a cunt or something like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't want any part of Uber's dash
I
cam.
know.
I'm
I know.
I'm just I won't do it.
I'm on the fence with it because like I don't in my life in general, I'm not doing anything wrong other than taking
Right.
a leak in a Gatorade bottle. If you want to see that, then like more power
Yeah,
to you.
exactly. But I want access to my video. I mean, I've used my video in 4 times. People have run into me, and I've
Yeah, no,
used
I I
video,
I
and I
still
don't
want
know if they would give it to me.
I don't know if they would either, but I still want well, you know what you could do? You just run a second one.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, no, no.
So you're
I have so
saying
much stuff on the windshield now. I mean, I don't have any
well
more
that
USB ports, and
that one that you talked about last week, if it's that fucking big, it's like the freaking Star Wars ship. So it's your position that if Uber says you have to use our dash cam, you're done driving.
for Uber, I think so.
Well, so for both of them.
Well, yeah, I haven't heard any Lyft doing anything about.
No. This is more hypothetical. I'm just saying, is it your position that you're going to be done driving, or is the variable? You need to hear the variables of how accurate.
Yeah, I need to know more information. But if it was like it is now, you have no access
Yeah,
to
because you don't now.
anything. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
out.
yeah, I
I'll
agree.
find something else.
Yeah, I think I would just run another camera. I know it
I
sounds
think
stupid.
that at that point, I think I would get my like commercial insurance and start just giving private rides.
I wish that was more affordable, the
Yeah.
commercial insurance. I wish there was some sort of co-op that you could like pay into. I mean, there might be. I've never looked into it, but I did reach out to my
Mhm.
insurance agent. She's like, "Yeah, it's like $1,000 a month."
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
"Fuck that." You know how much I got to work just to pay the insurance? I mean, yeah,
yeah.
you're definitely making a ton more giving private rides, but I mean, you'd have to be a full-time driver at that point.
Yes, for sure. And you would need to have some clientele, ready to go.
Well, I think you would have to. I mean, just what's a cool thing about maybe starting your own business in this business is you can flip on the apps.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So you can, in the midst of not having private, you can fill it with garbage rides, and
Right.
it helps pay the bills. And knowing that Thursday night I got a $400 trip to Detroit and back or whatever it is, like that helps. But it's kind of a cool because most people start their own business. It's kind of thing.
Mhm.
You're working your W-2 at night, you're working on your part time, but this
Right.
is kind of the same thing. So
Yeah, you're kind of just doing it all interchangeably there.
right. So, all right, let's do this one. Oh, we got two more because I want to talk about mine too, but this I don't have a video for this, but the Taco Bell guy, did you read
Yeah.
that? It was hard
Yeah.
to read. The website's trash, but
Yeah, yeah, it was. But anyway, so this article talks about a scam that a worker at Taco Bell was telling about. He said that he said people, when people come to pick up DoorDash, they drive up to the drive-thru, they come inside and say, "Hey, I'm picking up DoorDash for Dave, or I'm picking up DoorDash for Caleb, or whoever." And so they give them the bag, the drinks, everything. They go out their day. But he said a couple of days ago at his Taco Bell that he works at, they had a problem that somebody came through and said, "Hey, I'm picking up DoorDash for Jerry." So they give him the food, they take off, and then 10 minutes later, somebody comes through and says, "Hey, I'm picking up DoorDash for Jerry," and we say, "Hey, it's already been handed out. Somebody already came and got it." And so the driver then showed his app and showed, hey, he was this person who was supposed to pick up the order. So they must not have confirmed that with the first person,
right.
which they usually don't. And
No.
sometimes they do now, sometimes they don't. Uh, so he shows his phone that he's the one supposed to pick it up, and so the guy starts thinking about it. And what he thinks happened. He said, so basically, I think that Jerry came and picked up his own food, and then when DoorDash brought it, he would get it twice. And
I mean, it's kind of a weird scam.
it's kind of a weird scam, and I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of trouble.
Well,
And somebody put
yeah,
in the comments, as much as you're paying extra when you get it delivered, you're just kind of coming out even.
yeah. I mean, unless he has like door pass or whatever that is,
Yeah,
where you're like
no
not,
delivery fee.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
I,
seems weird.
yeah, it seems kind of iffy to me. I don't know if that's what happened because I think all of us have gone to pick up a food delivery and it's been given to somebody else.
Yep.
And it's not that the customer came and picked it up. It's
No.
just somehow it got sent out to more than one driver.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes to multiple drivers or delivery people. And I think it was just a glitch. I don't think Jerry came and picked up his own food.
Right. Yeah, I don't yeah, it's interesting about the food delivery. I don't mind when restaurants ask for me to
No,
verify.
no, not at all. Not at all. And it seems like after right kind of as COVID was dying down, I started seeing a lot more of that. They come in and they're like, "Can you confirm for me?" And either you would show it to them or they want you to, click when they hand it to you,
Mhm.
to show that they don't want to give it to you, and then you say, "Oh, I never got it."
What I don't like is the inconsistency that I go into
Hmm.
the same restaurant. That pisses me off more than life itself. Like,
Yeah,
if you don't make me do it, and then all of a sudden for 2 days you make me do it, and then I'm waiting to verify again, and you don't
hmm,
care, and it's like, then I get yelled at, right? They're like, "Oh, okay," for the next couple times they
yeah,
didn't ask, and then the next day they do. I have that so much trouble with Amazon Flex. It's like the one
yeah,
warehouse I go to is pretty consistent, and I don't see a lot of change. The other one is just a fucking shit show. It's like some days you can just take off and leave when you get your route loaded. Some days you can't. They're
yeah,
fucking screaming you down like they lost their ever loving mind at you. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
I'm fine following rules. I am a rule follower, but
yeah,
I need consistency. I'm black and white. Like, I'm going to do
yeah,
this or I'm going to do this. If not, I'm going to lose my mind.
yeah. The rules can't change every day.
No. Like, I get it every 6 months. Okay, we try this, it's not working.
Mhm.
Or, Amazon always talks about safety. Like, all this stuff is like based on safety. And it's like you can't back up, and it
Yeah.
used to be you couldn't just leave. Everyone had to leave at the same time in your row, which I get. That's fine. There's all the cars move out,
Yep.
all the cars move in, then we all stop, turn our engines off, like it's cool. But then they were like, yeah, just go, whatever. Like, no one's even telling me what to do. And I'm just like, well, I'm fucking out of here. I want to go to work.
Exactly.
All right, this last article. Oh, this is terrible. We're ending the show on a terrible note. I'm going to be honest with you. So Uber driver delivered 12 and 13-year-olds to accused sex traffickers home. The suit says the parents of the girls are suing Uber because of this. The lawsuit says Uber is aware of the terrible problem with this platform and its popular form of transportation to traffic victims, sexually, primarily minors, across the United States. So in 2023, this man accused trafficker started grooming this 12-year-old girl over Facebook, later ordered an Uber to have her and her friend delivered to his home. They keep like putting it in quotes, delivered, okay, to his home, according to the complaint. The guy who was convicted of statutory rape of a minor and sexual exploitation of a minor sent the Uber to pick up the girls down the street from one of the mother's homes in late November. The complaint says the Uber driver didn't ask the girls' about their ages, even though they were noticeably underage. Out of fear, the 13-year-old girl told the driver they were younger than their actual ages and attempt to get him to cancel the ride and refuse to drive him. I'm like, okay, you're fucked now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it might be, again, it's he said, she said, but like, ooh, man, that does not look good for the driver.
Yeah, it doesn't. And it's weird though. Yeah, I mean, I don't interrupt, but if the girl was that scared and was trying to get them not to take the ride, why did they come out of the house and get in the car?
You know, you got a friend and she's just the other one's determined to go. So you want to stay with your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That could be it. Yeah.
And they're kids.
Yeah.
They're fucking kids. I mean, yeah, us men look at the logic. They don't have logic yet. After the girls were dropped off, Williams took in the backyard. Occurs in the smoke weed. So let's see. Williams positioned the girls to perform sex acts. The 13-year-old girl refused. He ordered the other girl into the back, and then he raped her, unfortunately, and filmed it.
This is another reason do not take underage passengers.
Yeah. The girl's parents are suing Uber on multiple claims, including negligence and intentional infliction of emotional distress and tracking the lawsuit. But here it gets worse, y'all, though. So this is done. Whatever. Following the rape, Williams ordered another Uber ride to drive the girls back to South Carolina, according to the complaint. The Uber driver who responded to Williams' request for a ride allowed the girls to get in the car and didn't ask for their ages, the complaint says. The driver remained silent during the hour-long drive across state lines, according to the complaint. During the ride, the 12-year-old told her friend that she had been raped, the complaint says. The Uber driver dropped the girls off at a park near one of the mother's homes, a location Williams had chose despite the fact there were no parents waiting for them, according to the complaint. Well, of course, he drove them for an hour, didn't say a word, and he's not going to look for parents when he's dropping them off. The mother rushed over to the driver asking where they came from, according to the complaint. All Uber driver 2 said something about the lines of some guy named blah, 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 paid for the ride. A day later, Williams messaged a 13-year-old on Facebook and shared the video of himself raping her friend. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. That guy needs to be shot.
That's crazy. How did you ever think you're not going to get arrested for that?
I was reading this and I was just like, oh my gosh, like so bad. So a lot of fails here. I mean, Uber's going to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, Uber's going to pay. Like, I mean, both drivers. I mean, if they I would never let those kids in. I'd be like,
12 and 13. No.
I mean,
definitely not for an hour-long ride. Not across state lines.
Yes, there's so many red flags here. Like, maybe I'm probably sure I moved some 13-year-olds that looked 16, and I probably drove them a mile down the road to their friend's house. I'm sure of that. Well, that is the extent of it. Like I wouldn't see that ride and go, yeah, this is what I want. These kids in my car.
The girl was telling you, we're really not 13. We're really younger than that.
Yeah. It's so bad.
There's got to be. You know how we can read people. You've got to be able to read the situation and see this girl had to be freaking out.
See, the problem is like, what do you do with that? So obviously Uber's going to pay. But do you charge these drivers? Like, what do you do? Like, they technically, I mean, we're not required to ask for identification, right?
Right.
But we're also not allowed to move minors.
Right.
So it's like, okay, they're going to get kicked off the platform, but like these guys scare me too. Like
Yeah, for sure.
what is happening in the world where you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to drive these little kids across state lines.
Yeah, and then bring them back and leave them in a parking lot with nobody. None of it is good. But yeah, I don't know if they could. I don't know if they could be charged with anything.
I don't think so. But like, how do we get rid of people that are stupid like this? Like, I don't want them to die, of course.
No,
but like, you clearly cannot be in this job to. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what else to say, honestly. It's just like, I don't know, go do something else, because driving people around is, I mean, it is a low bar of entry, and you don't have to be brilliant to do this job, but you do have to have some fucking common sense.
A little bit. I mean, you have to have a little bit at least. And like I said, if this girl's telling you, look, hey, we're really not 13, we're 12 or we're 11,
Well, even if you're 13, if you don't have a teen account, and that just came around recently. So
yeah, and I'm definitely not taking them in an hour. I don't care if they have a teen account or what the story is. An hour across state line. No.
Well, that's just, I'm not taking them that regardless.
Yeah.
That's just me being like, I don't want to be stuck with these fucking kids in my car for an hour. Like I don't want to be stuck with adults in my car for an hour. Like
choking up reading Pete's comment.
Oh, yeah. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, Pete.
Well, he was the king. The king.
Pete, what is your status? Have you
taken rides, man?
What was the holdup on that? Was it the inspection he had to do yet? I don't know. He's probably cheating on Call of Duty or something. So, here it is. So
let's hear it. Let's hear this.
It's a delayed response because he's typing, but he probably sold the car. He probably bought an electric scooter. He's probably driving on the side. He's probably those fuckers.
He's riding an e-bike now.
Yeah, on the sidewalk where he's not supposed to, going like 40 miles an hour. Keep typing, Pete. I shouldn't have started it because I'm trying to wrap the show up. And anyways, I'll talk while he's typing.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I had to do the inspection, which is going to be fine, but I looked at the price for adding rideshare insurance on my car, and it was way too much. It's only like $30 a month, ain't it? Unless it's gone up. I mean, it depends on your carrier for sure. Well, I'm sure you have farmers, right? Because you work for them. That'd be funny if you didn't.
Maybe not. I mean, if it's not the cheapest, I wouldn't have it.
Oh man. My insurance lady just lets me add it. Like, I honestly, I should have took it off.
Yes, progressive.
My lady, like, she let me. When did I take it off for a while? I don't know. For a while there, I wasn't doing rides, and I just said, just take it off. And then she was like, just email me, I'll put it back on. She goes, I don't want you doing it every day, but like if you're going to be off for a while, but.
Oh yeah, I'm USAA, and I can go in online and take it off anytime I want.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can adjust coverage anytime just on the website.
Huh? I bet I could do that too. I never really looked into it, but interesting. All right, guys. Well, thank you for contributing to the show as always. Appreciate it so much. And then, like I said, picnic September 14th, 2 to 4 p.m. Riverside Park. I will get a ad up. I'm going to do that for Monday.
Last time plans for the picnic. Come, guys, to the picnic. Guys and gals, you need to come to the picnic and have a good time and meet all these other people that you hear on Telegram or you hear about on the show or you see on the show, whatever. It's a blast. We have
Traveler said he was going to come. Well, I don't know if he committed it. He committed to it. He asked if he could come or something. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yes.
Here's your invite. You're here. I know you travel around a lot. You're at this show every single time for the last like 3 months, and I really appreciate that. So
definitely.
I'm bringing beer this time, even though I'm not a big beer drinker anymore, and we're not supposed to. But I think I'm going to bring beer.
Bring some beer. Let's bring some beer. Remember, guys, if you come to the picnic, you can win your very own Thirsty Goose.
Yep.
We are giving one away at the picnic.
Here it is. It's a Thirsty Goose. It likes black things. Larry's like, I'm not on board with that. That one got him.
That took a twist.
That took a weird twist.
No
No
goose use
goose
at the
goose at
picnic.
yes,
Well,
yeah. If you win
hey,
it,
if you win it, you do what you want with it.
we're not responsible. Are we gonna have
That's
a
right.
waiver?
You had to sign something. You can't do it on the stream if we're streaming.
Right, yeah, definitely.
But what you
Definitely.
want to do and behind the bushes with the goose, that's up to you.
Oh my gosh. It'd be so funny. You're hiding behind the bush and then you stick the goose out just on the other side of the bush, and all you see is a goose and like right in the midsection of this guy. You're like, what is happening behind that bush? I don't even know if I want to know.
Oh yeah, I'm getting down with the goose. Oh my
That's right.
goodness.
All right, guys, and as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
Good night.
Good night, guys.